Well, hello. Here we go. I'm going to remove this. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Well, let me see here. We have got an exciting day for you all because we have the official Hoop Sisters in the building. We've got Miss Lynda Remmers. Hi, Lynda.
Hi, Lynda.
Hello.
And then we also have Miss Annie Moody.
Hello.
And we are going to, we just showed you, we kind of showed you early, the nesting baskets project that these two have been working on. And so we have an exciting day today. Lynda, tell them what you're going to be doing today.
So today I will be working on the nesting baskets block B1 and the handle, which is the very end of the nesting basket, which when we show you the sample, you'll understand what that is. Annie's got it right there.
This part right here and the little handle.
So this is super exciting because we're going to show you a project that might look intimidating, but these girls have got the expertise to make this super simple to pull off. So we're excited to show it to you. I think I'm going to switch over here to this camera and we're just going to show you the project. And then Lynda's going to take you in and get stitching. Okay. Maybe you and maybe one of you two can describe what they're looking at.
Okay. The baskets, which you saw there in the beginning and are looking at right now, they come in 3 different sizes. So there's a small over here, and then there's a medium and also a large one. And what I love to do with these personally is I like to use the large one for putting my fabric and use the medium one for putting my pattern or whatever I'm using, my printouts, and then the small one for my thread and my hoop scissors and all that stuff whenever I'm doing a project. Because sometimes I jump around from project to project. I don't know if any of you do that as well, but it makes it great for kind of organizing in your sewing room. But think beyond the sewing room too. So many awesome things that you can do with this. So cute. Sarah is sitting in the corner and she just said diapers. So she's getting in baby mode right now. So she may have some ideas to offer us too for anyone having grandbabies or babies in order to organize, the diaper wipes and the creams and the diapers and the onesies and all that good stuff.
We'll talk about this in a little bit.
Oh, you mean these cute little zippered bags right here? Yep, we will wait for that. And also some cute tags to help you remember what is in your basket, because if you're short like me and you have it up on a shelf, you're going to want to know what's inside.
I love the ideas that are coming through. Barbara asked, could this be used for hot dishes?
Well, I would think, and Lynda, you chime in here any minute, but I think if you use the proper batting that has the heat resistant stuff in it, I'm sure you could probably do that. You would have to switch on some of the items that you use inside of it.
So we must have someone who does the volunteering at bike races, because they are putting snacks in it for the racers. So I love that.
I'm all for snacks.
All right, I'm going to turn this camera off real quick. And Sarah, maybe you can work some magic. Thank you, dear. All right, so at this stage in the game, we're going to turn it over to Lynda over in Illinois, and she's going to show you how to create this.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm just going to take my little face out of the picture here.
Goodbye, Lynda's face.
Goodbye. Then you can see my table. So the first thing you need to do when you decide to do this project is you want to create your hoop shape patterns. And there's 2 ways to do it. I think Annie's going to show you the embroidery method. And I actually have in front of me the method where you print out your patterns, and then you can use those to trace your hoop shape patterns. I don't have a full printout here, but they do come with the little 1-inch square. So once you print it out on your printer, you need to measure that 1-inch square to make sure it did print the correct size. And then once you do that, then you can cut out your pattern. I actually have the pattern for the B1 and the B4 block right here, and it says to cut 2 from Hoop Shape. So I'm going to do that, and I just have a little scrap of Hoop Shape right here. And I have a great employee at our store, and she actually laminated these, which is awesome. So if I want to use them over and over again, I can do that. You don't have to laminate them. You can just use the paper. I like to use a little bit of glue pen, a little bit of glue stick on the back, just to kind of hold it to my hoop shape. And then what I do is I use like a Frixion pen and I trace it. And because it's laminated, it just gives me a nice sharp edge to follow. So there is my shape. And now because I traced it, it is a tiny bit larger than what it needs to be. So when I cut it out, I will use a rotary cutter and just a regular quilting ruler. And I'm going to cut inside that line so that I don't make it a little bit too big. So I'll just go around it and cut inside that line, actually removing the line that I just drew. Now that little corner there, if you end up cutting into your hoop shape right here, I didn't though, that's weird. Usually I do. It's fine, it's not going to hurt it at all.
We had a good question from Lois over on YouTube is asking, is hoop shape the same as battleizer? And I know you know the answer to that, Lynda.
No. Hoop shape is not the same as battleizer. It is you could probably see the thickness here. It's a foam stabilizer product. It's not fusible. It's got like a little kind of like a little fabric over the top of it, and it's foam in between those two pieces of fabric. And it's very easy, simple to sew through. It's very pliable. Even when you take it out of the package, you can see this one has a little bit of a wrinkle to it. You can steam that with your iron and get rid of that wrinkle very, very easily. And so it will give body to this project that we're working on. So it is not the same as battleizer. So here is my B1 and B4 ready to go. So Annie, do you want to show your embroidery method really quick before I move on?
Yep, I'm going to show you that. Lynda, I think it's genius that was laminated, because you can use the glue and then wipe it off.
Right, I
And
can
then
wipe it
can
off.
always put that, tuck that inside your little pattern with your pattern. I think that's genius.
It is genius.
Now, when we first started using hoop shaping, we had to cut out patterns. For the life of me, Lynda had mentioned that when you print it out, there's a little box that measures 1-inch square. And you had to make sure that you printed actual size and that measured 1 inch. I had trouble doing that. So my solution for doing that was to just stitch step 1. And Lynda's provided step 1 is just an embroidery file on its own in there. And basically what you do is you just hoop a tearaway stabilizer, and then you just stitch that out and then cut it out. And you could also laminate this. So that's what I did to make my patterns, is I stitched it out and cut it right on the thread line. And just an alternate way, just in case you cannot get your printer to get that 1-inch square exactly perfect. So you have 2 different options to doing it, but I definitely like the laminating and the glue stick idea. It's genius.
Especially when you want to make more than one, because it's just,
absolutely.
And when you're cutting the paper pattern, inadvertently, I usually trim off a little bit each time, so it gets pretty small after a while. Okay, so for today, I've got my B1 and B4 cut out, and I also cut out 2 little handle shapes for the side of the basket. This is what it will look like when it's finished. So this is our goal today, to get this done. This is actually B4, and this is one of the handles. So I want to show you really quickly. The girls were talking about what they use their baskets to hold. I actually have mine. Can you see that? With all my little fat quarters in it.
So cute.
That is cute.
Isn't it
Cute
cute?
fabric.
So what we're working on is this B1 and B4, which is the very, very end of the baskets. So that's the first step. That's the first set of instructions that you will see as you go through our instructions. And also I want to point out on each page of our different sections of our nesting baskets that we're making, you will see a QR code. And the QR code is unique to that particular section of the basket. So after today, if maybe you don't make this for a while and you forget what we told you and you can't find the Facebook page or the YouTube video, you can also take a picture of that with your phone and it'll take you right to the nesting basket handle video. And they're all short. So I divided them out like this is the one for the B1 and B4. So each page of your instructions will show you the different videos on how to do the sections of the basket.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant.
Someone smart made that up.
Yeah, I think you, Aubrey.
No, I don't think so. I think it was you.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just pat each other on the back.
Okay, I'll take credit. I have nothing to do with it.
So I have some step outs on how to make this cute little handle. If you're making a bunch of sizes of your nesting baskets and you have a large enough hoop, I would go ahead and do as many of these as you can in one hooping because it's the same step. So hopefully you can see this is my step 1. This is water soluble stabilizer. And what I did was I just traced the shape of my hoop so you can kind of see what's happening here. And for step 1, you want to use water soluble thread in the needle. I didn't for this so you could see. I used a gray Aurifil thread and it'll just stitch out the shape of your handle so you know where to put your hoop shape. And then you'll take your little hoop shape that you cut out and you'll place it there. And I used my glue stick to do it. I have a little bit of a glue stick here and I just put a couple little dabs on there and I'll place that right inside that stitch out. So this is step 1. Step 2, it's going to zigzag or tack down your hoop shape. And again, you're still using the water soluble thread. And I've used a gray so you could see what it will look like when it's finished. And then after that, for step 3, you need to remove the hoop from the machine, carefully turn it over, keeping everything hooped. And you'll take a small rectangle of fabric and you'll place it over the hoop shape. And you want to center it. And again, I get out my little glue stick and I put just a little dab in each corner. And I center the fabric over the hoop shape on the back of the hoop. And that little bit of glue is enough to hold it on there. So when I turn it over, it doesn't fall off. And the beauty of it is because this is a water soluble stabilizer, I can see right through it. So then I'll take my second piece of fabric and place it over the hoop shape, just centering it exactly in the same place.
Hey, Lynda,
Yes.
I see a question that I'm sure you're going to want to answer. So I apologize for interrupting, but Jacqueline said she's wondering why this step cannot be done totally in the hoop.
I am doing it in the hoop.
Right. So I think maybe she's just confused.
Maybe
Right,
she's
so
on the handle and what the piece that it's attached to maybe.
This outline represents my hoop. I stitched these out ahead of time, so I don't have 5 different hoops to show you, but this product, the water soluble stabilizer, is in my hoop. Does that make sense?
Pretend that the darker outline is the hoop.
This is my hoop. Yes. It's completely done in the hoop.
And Vicki said that she just ran next door and she'll be right back. Can we wait?
She said LOL. And then we had another question. Another question, just and then I promise I'll hold the rest. But are you using water soluble thread when you talked about that? Someone's asking in the top and the bobbin.
Yes, no, not in the bobbin. Water soluble thread is your needle only. This is your needle only for water soluble thread. In the bobbin, you'll use one of your embroidery pre-wound bobbins for the back. And the reason we use water soluble is so that your stitching doesn't show later. I just use gray so that you guys could see it. Otherwise, it will completely blend away. But this is completely done in the hoop. Okay, so this is step 2. So now I have, in my hoop, I have fabric on the top and I have fabric on the back. I'm putting the hoop back on the machine. And you also want to just kind of check and make sure nothing got bent over. And because this is see-through, you can tell that my fabric is still nice and flat. So this is step 2. Step 3, it's going to outline the shape of my hoop shape again. And it will do this twice because our next step is to go ahead and trim it. And so this is the front. And you can see in the back, I've got my pre-wound bobbin thread in my bobbin. And so that's the reason it's white. So also in step 3, you want to again remove your hoop from the machine, but keep your stabilizer in the hoop. Do not unhoop it. And you're going to trim on the fronts. Let me grab. So we're going to trim all along the outside edge. And again, just keep in mind, this is in the hoop. Trim it nice and close. It's a little easier to do when it's actually in your hoop. We're going to trim this inside as well. And I want you to notice I'm not trimming right here. I'm not trimming this little piece right here. So there's the front of it. I'm keeping this little guy right here because this is going to be my seam allowance to attach it to the bottom of my piece that I'm going to stitch it to. Then I'll carefully turn the hoop over and I will also trim the back side. Again, keeping those little pieces of fabric under the ends of the handle intact.
Kathy says you're using her favorite scissors, the Hoop Scissors Mini.
Okay, so here's the back side. I've got my little tabs still attached. Here's the front side. Again, those little tabs are still attached. We're going to slide this back onto the sewing machine. And then step 4, it's going to do the satin stitch. Oh, and at this point, you're going to put your pretty decorative thread in your needle. You're also going to put it in your bobbin. This is a bobbin wound with my white embroidery thread or whatever color you're using. And it's going to do the satin stitch around the raw edge. And it's also going to do this quilting stitch. And you can see in the back, it looks just as pretty. So that's step 4 and step 5. So now once those 2 steps are done, that's all the stitching you need to do in your hoop. And again, if you have a larger hoop in your machine, you can do several of these in the hoop all at once. These are pretty small, even for the really large basket. We have 3 sizes. So even with the large, the medium, and the small, you could probably get them all done in one hoop. So you're ready to go. Now at this point, you're going to remove the stabilizer from the hoop. And what I do is I just carefully trim it. I don't trim too close. I trim them all out, leaving just a tiny bit of that stabilizer. You want to make sure you don't cut these guys off because you need those later. So there, maybe at this point you want to use a scissor. This is my large hoop scissors for this. And I would turn back the front little tab that we left as well as the back. And just leave a little bit extra. So you will have a whole bunch of these guys. And what you'll do is you'll take them over to a sink. I could probably go a little bit less here. take them over to a sink and run some, I like to do some pretty warm water. And I will just get the warm water on my finger and kind of just rub this, and this will just disappear because it's water soluble.
That's
And when you're
genius.
finished, you'll end up with this. And it's all encased in your thread, so it's all pretty and finished on all the edges. So if you can actually soak these in water, but then they get pretty wet, so then it's probably going to be a good day before you can continue. So that my little trick of just using your finger and doing it, they're usually dry enough to continue in about 10 minutes or so. So you're going to make 2 of those to finish up our B1 and B4.
I love that. And also someone said on Facebook that they love that you go around it twice with the stitching. It makes it so much easier when trimming. So yes, we agree.
Yeah, because sometimes if the company just goes around one time and you go to trim it and you clip one little thread, you're in trouble. So it's good to do it twice. Okay, so that was my nesting basket handles. And at the very bottom of the page, it does give detailed instructions on how to trim it that I just covered for you. And again, if you want to review the video, that's always good too. So we're going to move on, right, girls?
Yep. What does that mean? Where are we going?
Okay, so the next step, this is the next step in embroidery. This is going to be B1 and B4. So we have to make one of each of these because it's for each side of the basket. And this is your little QR code for the video. This is what B4 looks like with the handle attached. You've got your quilting on the outside of it. The underside of it, or the inside of it, is a lining fabric. So this is our goal today, to make this. And what you want to do for this one, now this one I have a real hoop, so hopefully I won't confuse anybody. You want to take your hoop and put a tearaway, a medium to lightweight tearaway stabilizer in it. I like to use the tearaway. And then step 1 is water soluble thread. I have used a gray so it can be seen on camera. And this is your placement stitch for your hoop shape. And then that hoop shape that we cut out will be placed right here. And you'll notice this is a little bit large. On the instructions, it actually tells you to place your hoop shape over the placement stitches, keeping the left side aligned. That's the left side right here. And the reason for that is it'll leave a small gap at the bottom, because this will act like a hinge when you go to put your basket together. So we do not want to have hoop shape in this area so that it bends up easily. And again, I like to use my little glue stick, and I'll just put a couple of little dabs of glue like in 4 corners. And I'll align the left side, keeping it centered. And now I'm ready to go to my machine. So what I'm going to do is put that camera on.
I guess we're right in the thing, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I'm on step 2 right now. So there's my, where's my camera? Here's my camera. There's my hoop shape ready to go. And I will just load this onto the machine. You should be using water soluble thread for this, but I'm going to use gray because it's going to show up better. So we're on step 3 right now. This is what step 2 looks like with my gray, but it's supposed to be water soluble thread. And so step 3, we're supposed to take our fabrics. Let me grab those. And we're going to place one on the back. No, I'm sorry, just one on the front of my hoop shape, and I'm going to put it right side up, centering it over my hoop shape. Now you should change to water soluble thread for this. I won't, just so you can see what I'm doing. And step 3 is to base this fabric in place. So you can see I've basted it in place. And you'll also notice there's 2 little lines right here. It actually stitched it. This is for the placement for my handle. So I'm going to place my handle on those, between those 2 little lines. Now remember, you'll do it in water soluble thread, so these will disappear later, but I went ahead and did it in gray so it could be seen on camera. So to place the handle, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. My next step is actually the quilting. So I'm going to change my thread from the water soluble into the quilting thread, and mine is a white. And we'll let it go ahead and stitch the quilting. So while it stitches the quilting, hopefully you can see the quilting in this B4 sample. The reason we have a B1 and a B4 and why all of these individual pieces have a different file is because the quilting is intended to line up when it's finished. So that's why they all have different numbers. Kathy asked me if I put the back on before the quilting step. No, Kathy, I didn't. This is just the front. And then I'm going to place the handle, and then we'll put the fabrics right side together and stitch it and turn it.
Hey, Lynda, would now be a good time for me to share some details?
Sure.
Okay, you just holler when you want me to shush my
Okay.
mouth.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some of the details because I know you're going to want to know. first and foremost, you guys have already done a cool job in the comments of letting us know what you would use this for. And a lot of them are very different, things that I wouldn't have thought of. Personally, I'm going to have this at my coffee station and put my little K-cups and tea. Sarah's going to use these in her nursery. Annie's using them in her sewing room. I put remotes on here too, because we have a major problem with losing remotes at our house. And so this could be a remote basket if you have middle school and elementary kids like me. Spices, what are you guys going to use it for? Let us know in the comments.
How about a cell phone deposit spot at
Yeah,
dinnertime?
there you go. Drop your cell phone in the basket. Okay, so the text is a little bit small, but you do get 3 sizes in the nesting baskets USB. So you get all 3 of those sizes, which is fantastic. You can use it for all sorts of things. And I see the comments lighting up with uses, which is really fun. And this would be a great gift. I've seen that a couple times, gifts. And imagine changing out the fabrics for whomever you're gifting it to. So this would be great heading into the holidays too. Okay, so these are the flat finish sizes that we have listed here. But the one thing that I definitely want to point out is the minimum hoop size, which this thing is right in the way. Hold on a second. The minimum hoop size to make this, you are going to need a 4-inch by 7.25 inch. So it's pretty middle of the road. I think a lot of people are going to be able to do this. And we are using our hoop shape product instead of Battleizer for this one. And that's going to give you that really nice stability and help the baskets give them their shape and help them stand up. With keys and wallets, that one caught my attention because that's another thing my husband loses all the time. He needs a spot to put them. So yeah, very cool. What'd you say?
Christmas cookies. That caught my attention.
Sarah said the Christmas cookie comment caught her attention. She is very pregnant, so that makes sense. But yeah, these are super cute. And so if you get, you can get this just the USB or just the download. It's on our website for $49.99. And then the other thing that we're doing that we haven't told you guys yet is we're also going to add an assembly workshop I almost said Tuesday. Wow. Next Wednesday, September 20th at 2 p.m. We're going to come live again and just focus solely on the assembly part. So if you do participate in this, you're going to get lots of help along the way and an extra assembly workshop. Plus, we will talk again about the QR codes that take you right to Sarah, there's a lot of comments coming in. So if you see something we need to answer, let me know. But yeah, so just know that's going to come into. Lynda, how are we doing? Can I keep going?
Either way, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to switch back to you. We'll talk further about a bundle bonus, the bonus and the free gift and all that stuff. So don't go anywhere.
Okay. Okay, so if you look here on my cutting table, I've got the block so far stitched right here. And you can see those 2 gray lines. Yours will be water soluble, so they won't show as much. Now I want to take the handle that we had made previously, and I want to look for the right side of it. That would be the side that looks a little bit nicer than the other side, because the stitching on the top side of your machine hoop is always a little prettier. So the right side will go down. And then these are going to be placed between these little goalposts here. So I have discovered, because I've made a few of these now, if you line it up exactly and stitch it, it works great. But I think you should come up just a tiny, tiny bit and allow that machine to stitch a little bit over that satin stitch. And that way your handle will stay nice and stick out. It won't flop around. So there's my tip for you today. And again, I like to use the glue stick. So I'll just put a little dab in the seam allowance. That's going to hold my tabs. Place them between those little goal lines, just slightly over this basting line right here. So the machine's going to start here, and it's going to sew down, and it's going to end here, and then it's going to come back. So it backs up over itself. Now, if your machine has a function where you can raise the height of your presser foot just a little bit, I recommend that you do that. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the machine,
Linda, while you're doing that, Nancy had a question. She wanted to know if you can make these little nesting baskets without the handle. And I believe if you just skip this step
Oh,
right
yeah.
here and not make
Yeah,
the handles, that you can just do it and not have the handle on there. It's a great idea.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely do that. Skip that step entirely. Okay,
Mhm.
right now I have my quilting thread in the machine. I'm going to call that my neutral thread, so I'm going to go ahead and run with it. I'm going to let my machine raise the presser foot just a little bit, and I'm just going to hold this down and let it stitch forward, touching both ends, and then it's going to stitch back. And that's all there is to that step. And then the next and last step is to take your lining piece right side down to all of this, get it centered over the same place. And I do have a neutral thread in, which happens to be my quilting thread because it's white, so that works. And it's going to tack this down. And all I have to do is make sure it stays nice and straight. It does stitch this twice just for that little bit added security. Okay, so that's all the steps. I'm going to take this over to my cutting table. Let's see. Okay, so here we are at the cutting table, and I can go ahead and remove this from the hoop. I'm going to use one of my baskets to put my hoop in. And now we're ready to trim this up. So what we're going to do is trim it, leaving about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to use a rotary cutter for some of this. I'm not going to use it for all of it. It's just too hard to get in to those little corners, but I can do some of it. So these little corners that I couldn't quite get, I can just clean those up with my scissor. And I am going to remove the stabilizer. The stabilizer could have been removed before I cut it. I just got a little excited and forgot. So we'll just go ahead and remove all of that just to get it out of the seam allowance.
I love this question, and I know the
Yes,
answer. So, Linda, is it possible to add personalization in the center with your own software or letters on the machine?
yes, ma'am, it is. That would be so cool.
We'll show
And we're
you an
going to talk
example
about
soon.
that. Yeah, we have an example of that. Okay, so we got this far. I'm not going to trim the bottom. I'm not going to trim that until I completely turn it around. So now that I have a 1/4 inch trimmed on all the 3 sides, I'm going to take this corner here and clip to the stitching. Don't clip the stitching, of course. And then these corners, I'm just going to cut them off diagonally, leaving it just a tiny bit, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, because we don't want to cut into that stitching either. And now we're ready to just turn this around. So if you reach inside that little corner, poke it out. I'm going to turn this around and very carefully coax your corners out. And because I clipped here, it's going to lay nice and flat for me. And see how pretty that looks already. And then I will take it to the iron and give it a little press. And I would also go ahead and baste it right on that basting line right there. And then you can trim this to 1/4 inch. And then you have a B1 and a B4. And I really suggest that you label every one of these. You can see I have a B4 here. This is a Frixon pen, so it'll iron off. This will be B1. It'll make your life so much easier when you go to assemble this. So that's all you have to do for your handles and your B1 and your B4.
Okie dokie. You mind if I pop some slides back in?
Nope, go for it.
All right, and I do want to. I do have a couple comments here. Someone said that they would use this to pass out Halloween candy at the door. How fun would that be? This would be cute in some like black and orange fabrics. Someone said Christmas gift baskets. Someone also asked if it's available on the website, and yes, it is now available on the website. And then someone else asked, will they get it by the 20th for that assembly workshop? I will tell you this, we are ready to ship right now. So if you place your order, we ship pretty quickly. And then it kind of depends on where you're located. If you're in California, it might take a little longer to get to you. If you're in Indiana, Illinois, you should be good. But just know that the replay for that will remain available. So
And the QR codes are right on the instructions with a very professionally taped videos on what Lynda's doing and with the construction and everything. So
yes. Okay. So I'm going to go through here. So as again, you get all 3 baskets, multi-formatted PDF written instructions and QR codes to videos. The USB is $49.99. It's also available as a download for $49.99. And then we are going to have that assembly workshop. We highly recommend that you use hoop shape with this. That's what you saw Lynda making the pattern for the handle. So we have that bundled this time. Instead of Battleizer, you're going to want to use hoop shape. And then hoop shape's a fantastic price point, but you guys are also going to get a discount for that introductory price if you order the bundle before next Wednesday. So typically this would be a $64.94, but with that introductory bundle price, it's only $58.45, which is really cool. You guys have a lot of good ideas and you can put this to use right away. So in order to take advantage of the special pricing, and you're also going to be able to get a bonus, which we're about to show you, you would put the bundle in your cart and then you're going to want to add the bonus. And here's the bonus. Okay.
So cute.
It's so cute. So this is actually a picture of the bonus and the free gift. And all of them they just complement each other really, really well, which is the goal. We try to do that. So the bonus is these quilted zipper pouches, and those are 3 different sizes as well. So those look super cute with it. We'll show you another picture in person in just a second. If you don't want to get the hoop shape for some reason, as long as you spend $59 or more, and then add the bonus to your cart too, and then pop in coupon code basket bonus, and it'll take $15 off, and you'll get these really pretty quilted zipper pouches. Okay. Sarah, again, I'm not looking at the comments. So if something comes up.
Yeah, there's 2. Okay.
Okay.
So first, Aubrey, this one's probably for you. When will the digital download be available?
It should be available now. As we were doing the presentation, it dawned on me that we hadn't unhidden the projects from the website. So we just did that. So if you checked this moment ago, check again, refresh, and it should be there. But if for some reason it isn't, it will be by the time we're done with this, I'm sure.
Okay, and then for Annie and Lynda, someone wants to know if there's enough hoop shape in one package to make all 3 sizes in the bundle.
Good question.
Lynda, what do you think?
I wish I had figured that out for you. I'm going to take a guess and say it's not going to be quite enough. Annie, what do you think?
I'm I'm right on the fence with that too. I'm not sure if you can get like a large and a medium, but not have enough left to do the small.
That's what I would say. Yep.
And I will tell you, the hoop shape is only $14.95. So it's honestly like it's a really good price. So if you're kind of not sure, maybe you need a little bit extra, you can go ahead and add that into your cart separate from the bundle. Okay.
Yep.
And then the free gift is the gift tag. So you see the little tag tied onto the zipper pouch. How cute is that? So if you registered in advance to join us for the workshop, you're going to have that in your account, and I'll show you how to access that shortly. But I have a feeling Linda's ready for moving on.
Can we do a couple
Oh, yeah.
more questions?
Couple more
Okay,
questions.
Sandra wants to know if the bundle includes the USB.
Yes, it does. The bundle includes the USB, which has all 3 sizes, PDF written instructions, the QR codes, and it includes 1 package of the hoop shape, which Lynda and Annie just said they didn't necessarily look before the live, but they're kind of thinking it would be a stretch. So you may want to add, if you're going to make all 3 sizes or multiple sets, you might want some more of the hoop shape.
And then Marie wants to know what size hoop is needed for the largest basket. I think, was that on one of your slides? The one
It
there?
was, well, not the hoop necessarily. Here, you look
The
at that.
largest finished size. I don't have that information here. Lynda, you may have that on your instructions.
So the B1 and B4 takes the file size for the large is 5.12 by 10.19, and that would be the biggest. 5.12 by 10.19 would be the biggest file size that you need.
And Kathy, I do see your comment. It will work if you put the bundle and the bonus in your cart. It will take that off. I just said 59 because it just seems easier than saying you need $58.45. So I put 59 on the screen. Technically, you are 100% correct. If you don't get the bundle and you have $58.49, although I don't even know how that's possible, that price point. But basically, if it's above that, you will be good to go. So hopefully that helps.
Okay, last thing I see, Aubrey, I see 3 comments in a row.
Is it about the open
yes.
house? Okay, I'll have to check with Nina. We probably got to put something in your account. So if you bought it at the open house, we are planning to make sure that you have the free gifts and all that kind of stuff. So we will take care of you. We have a list of names.
If you were willing to come and visit us that day, you get the free gifts.
Yeah, we will make sure that you get that. And then any other questions, or back to Lynda?
So Norma, just to clarify, the bundle comes with the USB and 1 package of hoop shape.
Correct.
And then is Battleizer used in the zipper pouches?
Yes.
Okay. I think we are caught up on questions.
Okay, good questions. Good questions. All right, Lynda, you want the camera?
Actually, I think it's Annie's up now. I've done my
I think
shtick.
I
It's
am
Annie's
up.
turn.
No, you're first.
Oh, okay.
Somebody had asked, okay. Someone, hold on here. Sarah's doing technical stuff that I know nothing of.
You can show it on that camera for now.
Yeah, you're good
Yeah.
here.
Okay, so this is, someone wanted to see what it looked like laying flat. So there it is. That's the outside. This is the inside of it. And someone also had asked about customizing it. And there is a lining. Is it upside down?
Yes.
And backwards? But yes, this section of it through here is actually lined. So some of the blocks you will not be putting backing fabric on. Some of them you will, but as you can see, you can customize and monogram or whatever you want on the inside of that, or just have it stitch out fabric or thread or whatever you plan on putting in it. And I just wanted to show you this zipper pouch. They will come in so handy to carry so many things. And one of them, this is, I believe, the larger one, but look, it just holds this whole tray of bobbins. So if you have a project going on where you need a lot of different bobbin color threads, make the zippered pouch, and then you can put it in the basket to kind of keep everything organized. So I think we're going to step over And I'm going to show you, this is obviously my basket, but we're also going to go over another block. I'm going to, hold on here. So this is the one that's laying flat again, and it might be kind of difficult to see with that crazy print, but this is what Lynda stitched out, the B1 and the B4, which are the ends with the tab on it. And now I'm going to show you how to do, there are 8 individual little blocks here. So I'm going to show you how to stitch out those. And then tomorrow, we're going to do one of these that has the slots that the end tabs slide into. So this is, in particular, block A2. And I'm going to get rid of some stuff. Here is the first step for A2 and all of those other blocks is that you will hoop a tearaway stabilizer. And again, you will use water soluble thread. I used a colored thread so that you can see what the machine will do, but it stitches a placement stitch for your hoop shape. Now, you will also notice that there's a little extra line here. Now, your hoop shape will fit inside that line. Lynda mentioned that that is where your basket actually hinges. So by not having hoop shape in these narrow areas, it allows your basket to move a lot more free. So step 1, you stitch this out. On step 2 is where you place your hoop shape, and it's going to do a zigzag. Whoops. Hopefully that's better. So you're just gonna stitch with the zigzag stitches, step 2, to hold that hoop shape in place. Step 3, that's step 3. Step 3 is you're gonna add your fabric, and again with water soluble thread, the machine tacks that fabric down. And then your last step, there's only 4 steps to make each of these, is you're gonna put your quilting thread in the needle only, and it's going to do that quilting.
That quilting's so pretty. I love that.
Yep.
It's simple but beautiful.
Yep. And I love that in the small basket and in the medium basket, you can get multiple sizes in your hoops if you have some larger hoops, which makes things go so much faster. So this is the A2 block that is all finished, just what it would look like coming out of the hoop. And I'm just going to show you how to trim it. I know Lynda kind of went over this too, but I'm going to just tear away the stabilizer. And again, when I do multiples in the hoop, I mark my stabilizer so that I know. And then when I separate them, I transfer that marking into the seam allowance. And like Lynda said, it's going to be very important that your quilting matches up, that you know where each of those goes. So now all my stabilizer is gone. And basically your next step to trim your fabric that's on the front is you're going to trim it 1/4 of an inch from the basting stitch. I'm just going to put my ruler right down there on the basting stitch, or 1/4 of an inch. And then I can start trimming. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. Okay, so there's my A2 block marked in the seam allowance. And then we're just going to make all the I can't remember what page it was on, but all the middle sections, there's 8 of them that'll be very similar, just the quilting is in a different place. Make sure that you label them so that when you get to the page where we're sewing it together and laying it out, that you know where everything will go. So I think that's all I had.
Okay, so we have a question. Can you, and this is a good question, I don't know the answer to this. Could you stitch together the extra hoop shaped pieces like you do battleizer? You know how you make Frankenbat? Is that possible?
Oh, you know, I've never tried it, to be honest.
Me neither.
Lynda, have you ever tried that?
Well, I have a thought on that. Let me add myself back in here. You could, but it will compress a little bit. The hoop shape will compress just a little bit. So I'm not sure. You could try it and see, but you don't want it. And I think it might create a hinge effect too. So
I was wondering about that.
yeah.
Try it.
And I
mean,
saw,
you never know.
yeah, I saw a question. Someone asked if their presser foot doesn't raise, can they still do this? You can, you just have to be a little more aware, like especially when you're putting the handle on, and just kind of keep your fingers down. So keep you can kind of compress the hoop shape a little bit so it'll go over it smoothly, because you don't want the foot to grab it and take it for a ride. And then I have a little tip that I did when I was doing multiples in a hoop. Hopefully you can see this. On my directions, I drew a little rectangle of my hoop and I wrote down where my different pieces were. So then when I took them off and trimmed them up, I would label them in the seam allowance like Annie suggested, because I don't really like to use the Frixon pen in the middle of my fabric, especially on a dark color, because it sometimes does leave a shadow.
Yep. Good tips.
Oh, batting tip to join the smaller pieces. That would work better, I think. There's a batting tape that you can use for batting. Yeah, you could save it that way. That way it wouldn't hinge and wouldn't compress.
Yeah, that's a good idea. See how smart they are?
Yeah, I got all the good tips. Okay, I'm going to go back into my slides and kind of wrap up. I've seen a couple follow-up questions. Is that a good time for that, girls?
Yep.
All right. I'm not going to try to hijack your show, but I know they want to know this stuff. So we have, again, the bundle bonus would be the zipper pouches that you see here. And your free gift is the luggage tags. So you're going to have a nice set all together if you go ahead and decide to do this. And then again, we just want to mention, because we've had some more people hop on since we began, that you're going to have access to the replays from the workshop today and tomorrow. But we're also going to do a follow-up assembly workshop next Wednesday at 2 p.m., September 20th. In addition to that, you guys are going to have 6 video access via QR code, and those are found in the instructions that you're going to get on the USB. So even if you can't find the replay or something like that, you will have instant access to some really super helpful videos, which I think is fantastic. So just to recap what we talked about today, this is available on USB. It's also available as a digital download for $49.99. Or you can get the bundle, and the bundle has a limited time special price. It does include the USB as well as our hoop shape. So typically that would be $64.94, but for a limited time, it's $58.45. The limited time is end of day next Wednesday. It'll go right back to the normal price. Okay, so you do have that nice introductory price. We also mentioned earlier, and I'll just kind of reiterate, if you know you're going to make all 3 or you want to make more than 3 baskets, you might want to add some additional hoop shape to your cart, but it's just $14.95. So it's a really good price point. The coupon code is basket bonus. So you'll basically add the bundle or $58.45 into your cart, then also add the $15 zipper pouch, and then use coupon code basket bonus. It'll take the $15 off. Okay. And again, you don't have to get the bundle. You can just spend the $58.45 or $59 to get that zipper pouch free. And I already mentioned the assembly workshop. So what questions am I not seeing, Sarah?
So one that I see from Sandra says, I hate zippers. Will there be super directions for zippers? I assume she's talking about that bonus.
Probably the bonus, yeah.
Yes,
Well, that's
ma'am,
good.
there is. I believe there's even a video.
Nice.
There you go.
Mhm.
And then Vicky, no, the bundle does not include the digital download. It's just the USB that will mail to you.
Correct.
And we are doing another block, teaching another block tomorrow. as
Mhm.
well as the putting it together on Wednesday. So tune in tomorrow as well.
That's right. Yeah, your local quilt shop might have it. You just reminded me that I haven't put together that slide, so I will do that tomorrow. Give them a call because they probably do. They get theirs a little bit early so they can help you out, and they also have access to the bonuses and to the free gifts, so they can definitely help you out. The luggage tag, is it in the bundle bonus? No, the luggage tag, if you registered to join us for the workshop in advance, that doesn't cost anything. But if you did that, the files are in there. And in fact, once we answer a couple more questions and see if the girls have anything else they want to say, I'll show you how to access that. But you did have to register for the event to have access to that.
So just for registering, you get the cute little luggage tags.
Yes.
This is one for your actual luggage, some for your baskets.
So I have a question.
Yes.
I'm assuming that you can just print whatever you want on cardstock.
Yes.
So this is just cardstock in here.
Yes. And I believe there is a file that has all these pre-printed for you, so you can just print them out.
So there's like vinyl, and you can just stick it in there.
Yeah.
Pretty genius. Can I get one of these for when we go to Houston?
Sure.
Thanks. Yes, I will get a winner too. I have not announced the winner yet. I will. Thank you for reminding me because sometimes I get scatterbrained. Okay. Anything else that we should cover before I show you how to access?
I have one thing.
Go for it.
So one of the gals asked about not using the handles. So I just took my handle and I pinned it down just to show you. And it does still go together. So you can still put your basket together.
Very cute. That's a great idea.
That's what it would look like without a handle. So yeah, that's doable.
I just dropped my tag.
Okay. No, there's no shipping. There's no shipping breaks. It's just, but there is a price break in the bundle. So if you get the bundle, you're getting 10% off, and then you obviously are getting a free gift as well. And someone said, am I late? You're late, but it's okay.
Vicki, are you back from your neighbor's house yet? That's what I want to know.
Thank you for showing up without the handle. Yeah, so this is neat because you don't have to incorporate the handle. You can. And you can also, we said you can actually stitch names, whatever you want on it using your machine too. So it's pretty cool. Would a casserole dish fit in the large ones?
Let me measure
yes,
it.
because
I think a small
14,
one, like an 8 by.
It's 14. The large is 14 by 10. So a 9 by 13.
Oh. Okay. She said I'm on Central Time. Lynda is too, and we have that conversation a lot. Like, whose time is what? What are we doing? Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to take, you guys keep the questions coming. I'm going to take you to the website, quickly show you how to access your free gift. So if you've never joined us before, who's new, by the way, I'm going to show you how to access that free gift, which is the luggage tag, and then I'm going to draw a winner, okay? So I am going to share my screen. Maybe. Okay, everything looked like it's sharing okay, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you're just going to go to HoopSisters.com. This is where you would have gone when you actually registered for the event. And you're going to log into your account, which is at the top right-hand side of your screen. You're going to click My Account. And this takes you right where you want to be. So you want to be in your order history. And your newer orders are always going to be at the top. So if you scroll down, mine has pages and pages of things in there. And I know some of you guys have that problem too. So if you just click on this order number next to the workshop image. So if you ordered something since registering, it's going to be down a little bit lower, but you click on that order number. And then at this screen, you're going to see this brown box with a white down arrow. And you're going to click, just think download when you think of that. You're going to click on that. And then right here, it has luggage tag final.zipped. I'm not going to send it to my computer because I don't want to mess up the internet for everyone right now. But if you click on that, it'll download to wherever the downloads go on your specific computer, and you will have access to those luggage tags. So I can't wait to see what you guys create with those.
Can you show them like where to put the code too?
Oh, yes.
Right.
Sarah asked me to show you one other thing. So I'm going to go back into there and I'm going to show you where to put the coupon code, because that's a question that we do get asked a lot. So let me go back over to the website and I'm going to just log out here real quick. And I'm going to go right to the Nesting Baskets Workshop tab. This is where all the products are that we talked about today. Even Nina, thank you. She put in the separate hoop shape foam stabilizer. So if you want to add another one of those to your cart, you can do that right in this screen too. So I'm going to show you how to use the coupon code. So in this situation, I'm going to just pop the bundle, which you can see you're getting that new price in there. I'm going to just click add to cart, and that's going to go in my cart. And then I'm just going to go back into that tab, and I'm going to grab the bonus, which you can see is listed at $15. I'm going to put this in my cart too. And then I'm going to go proceed to checkout. And then right in here, you will start to see you're going to pop in your information. But look over here in this summary tab. And right here under the shipping and tax, it says coupon or gift certificate. And when you click on that, it'll pop a box. And I think I remember the code. Basket bonus. I'm going to click apply. And you'll see that it took the $15 off and my total goes from $73.45 to $58.45. So that's pretty cool. So you're definitely getting a deal there. So hopefully that helps. Did you see another question and that's why you're handing
Yeah,
that?
someone asked if that was listed on the pattern cover.
If the what was?
Fabric requirements.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
There you go. It's right in there. So if you grab this from your local quilt shop or you get this in the mail, you can take this in and Lynda make sure that all of this stuff is in there, all that good stuff that you need, okay? And more QR codes. If you're curious about how to use our trimmer by George, we put that in there too. Those things are so helpful.
QR queen.
Yeah. So that fabric information is in the pattern cover. Okay. Any other questions before I draw a winner? Okay. If you do have questions, we will be sure to answer them.
Where do you go for extra hoop shape? So just scroll down on that.
Do what?
Someone just said, how do I get extra hoop shape in my
Oh.
cart? So just scroll down within that.
Yeah. So there is extra hoop shape in the Nesting Baskets Workshop tab of the website. It's kind of at the bottom. There's like, I want to say 3 rows. It's all the way at the bottom, but yes, that's in there. So you can get extra if you're planning on making a bunch of them. All right, you will all real quick, be sure that you type the keyword baskets. I'm about to draw the winner and we'll answer any questions that you have, but make sure you do that real quick. I don't want to forget anybody. Okay. All right, you all, I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to pick a winner. Okay, here we go. And this is for a $25 HoopSisters store credit, which is going to be really nice. I bet we've shown you something today that you would be, oh, Nina! She must have typed the word baskets. Yay, Nina, go put $25 in your thingy. But let's also draw somebody else too. That's funny. So we're going to have 2 winners today. There we go. Okay, Lisa Leonard, who's watching over on YouTube. Congratulations, Lisa. So Lisa, what you're going to want to do is you're going to email Nina, the other winner. You're going to email Nina, Nina, at HoopSisters.com and just let her know that you were the $25 store credit winner for today's live. Do you want to come up and sign off, or are you just hanging out? What are you
I
doing?
don't know. I was getting kind of comfy on that couch.
All right. Anything else that we should mention?
I got a kick out of Vicky. She said she was one in front of Nina.
Oh, but
Darn
Vicky,
it.
you left to go to your neighbor's house halfway through.
Yeah, that gave room for Nina to sneak in.
Yeah. Oh, we like having fun. Okay, so let's talk real quick what's happening tomorrow so that they know to come back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central.
Tomorrow, I have to see if I have one finished. We're going to be working on one of the sections that has the slots. So that'll be fun. You will be making 4 of these to make one basket, and that's where the tab weaves in that Lynda stitched out this morning. So between Lynda stitching that out, me showing you the step outs of the other simple block with 4 steps, and this one, you will know how to make each of the blocks. So if you want to have them all ready for next Wednesday, that'd be great. But in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll be making the slotted section.
And I'm also going to talk briefly about how to cut the lining out and maybe do an embroidery inside the basket. So we'll talk about that too.
Then they'll have everything ready.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you want to get this quickly so that you can kind of get working on this and feel a little prepared heading into the assembly workshop, order it quick. We ship quick, but you're going to have to get on it if you want to be involved in that. And that'll also get you 10% off if you get the bundle. So
or call your local quilt shop and see if they have it in stock.
By the way, I usually tell you who those people are. So I will create a slide and post it in our VIP Facebook group and pull it up tomorrow so that you know what local quilt shops have it. But if they're a Hoop Sisters shop and they typically have our stuff, I would call them and they will take care of you. So all right, you all, thank you.
Yep.
Bye,
See you
Lynda.
tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.